You are holding your baby. They have been fussing for the last 20 minutes, resisting sleep, arching away from you. And then, without any clear reason, without any change in the room or in what you are doing, something shifts. Their body goes heavy. Not just relaxed, heavy, the particular weight of a body that has stopped bracing itself against anything. Their breath slows. Their fists, which were tight a moment ago, open. They are not asleep, they are something else. They are safe. You probably registered this moment as a parenting win. The baby finally settled. You finally did something right. What you may not have registered was that your baby just did something with their body that their nervous system cannot fake, cannot perform, and cannot manufacture for your benefit. Their entire physiology just told you, in the only language available to a 3-month-old, that you are the reason the world feels okay right now. Safety in infancy is not a feeling in the way adults experience feelings. It is a biological state, a measurable shift in the nervous system, in cortisol levels, in breathing patterns, in muscle tone. And when a baby feels it, their body shows it in ways that are specific, consistent, and that most parents have never had explained to them. That is what this video is about. 7 things your baby does when they feel safe with you, what is happening in their brain and body when they do them, and why understanding these signals will change how you see the ordinary moments you share with them. If this is already making you see your baby differently, hit the like button and subscribe, it really helps. And drop a comment telling me how old your little one is right now. I love knowing who I'm talking to. The first thing to understand is that safety for an infant is not abstract. A baby between birth and 12 months has no way to think about whether they are safe. They can only feel it, through their body, through the state of their nervous system at any given moment. The part of the brain responsible for that regulation, the limbic system and particularly the amygdala, is active from birth, scanning the environment constantly for signals of threat or signals of calm. And the most powerful signal that system receives, across the entire first year of life, is you. Developmental neuroscientist Nim Tottenham at Columbia University has spent years studying how the caregiver's presence regulates the infant amygdala. What her research shows is that the caregiver acts as an external regulator of the baby's stress response system. When you are present, calm, and responsive, your baby's nervous system borrows that calm. Their cortisol levels drop, their heart rate steadies, their body moves out of alert and into rest. This process, called co-regulation, is not a parenting theory, it is biology. The baby's brain, too immature to regulate itself, uses yours. What this means for how you read your baby's behavior is worth sitting with. When your baby does certain things in your presence, they are not being random. They are not simply going through developmental motions. They are showing you, in behavior, the state of their nervous system. And a nervous system that feels safe looks very specific. By about 4 to 6 months, the behaviors that signal felt safety become consistent enough to recognize if you know what you are looking for. Some of them will surprise you. One of them, which we will get to later, is something most parents actively worry about, when in fact it is one of the clearest signs that the bond between them and their baby is exactly what it should be. Before that, the common misreading. Most parents understand that their baby signals distress. The cry, the arching back, the turned head, the furrowed brow. Those signals are hard to miss. What parents are rarely taught is that babies also signal the opposite, and that those signals are just as specific, just as consistent, and just as worth learning to read. The problem is that when a baby is settled, calm, or self-contained, parents often interpret that as nothing happening. The baby is just sitting there. The baby is just making sounds to themselves. The baby is just looking around. In most cases, something is happening. What is happening is that the baby's nervous system has assessed the environment, assessed your presence, and concluded that no action is required. The threat detection system that runs continuously in the infant brain has, at least for this moment, gone quiet. And that quiet is not nothing. It is the specific biological state that makes everything else possible. Exploration, learning, the development of language, the formation of memory, the gradual growth of the prefrontal cortex. Pediatric psychologist Stuart Shanker, whose work on self-regulation in early childhood draws on decades of research across neuroscience and developmental psychology, describes this calm alert state as the optimal learning state for infants. It is the state in which the brain is most available for the experiences that wire it. And the primary factor that puts a baby in that state across the entire first year of life is feeling safe with their caregiver. Here is what most parents do not know. The signals of felt safety are as readable as the signals of distress. You were never taught to look for them. That is not your fault. The parenting conversation, across books, articles, and advice from well-meaning relatives, spends enormous time on what distressed babies need and almost no time on what a baby at peace looks like, why they look that way, and what your presence has to do with it. Every behavior on this list is one your baby is already doing. Every one of them is your baby's body confirming, I am okay, I am here, you are the reason. The first behavior most parents notice without knowing what they're seeing happens somewhere around 6 to 10 weeks. Your baby, lying against your chest or cradled in your arms, goes soft in a way that is different from drowsiness. Their shoulders drop, their jaw unclenches, their hands, which curl into fists when they are uncertain or overstimulated, open flat. Research on infant muscle tone has found that this degree of body relaxation correlates with felt security in the moment. The body releases tension only when the threat detection system has been satisfied. Your baby goes soft in your arms because their nervous system has decided you are enough. The second signal is something you may hear more than see. Between 2 and 4 months, babies in a calm alert state begin vocalizing to themselves. Soft coos, experimental sounds, little sustained syllables that seem directed at nothing in particular. Parents often overlook this entirely. What is happening is that the baby's brain, not occupied with managing stress, has bandwidth for something else, practicing sound. This vocal play occurs most consistently when a trusted caregiver is nearby. It is the sound of a baby whose nervous system has enough spare capacity to start building language. If you're finding this helpful, please subscribe and turn on notifications. I upload new videos every week and I'd hate for you to miss one. Your support is what makes this channel possible, and it genuinely means the world to me. The third signal is one of the most misread. Around 3 to 5 months, some babies cry harder in the first moments after being picked up by their primary caregiver than they did in the moments before. Parents assume they have done something wrong. What attachment researchers call the full release cry is actually a sign of trust. The baby held it together until you arrived. Your presence is the signal that it is finally safe to let go completely. The cry that gets louder when you pick them up is not protest, it is relief. The fourth behavior, they look away from you during play. Between 4 and 6 months, a securely attached baby will, at intervals during face-to-face interaction, turn their head to the side. Pediatric psychologist Ed Tronick described this as self-regulation during social engagement. The baby's nervous system takes a brief break from the intensity of connection. Babies who feel safe do this freely, knowing the engagement will be there when they turn back. Babies who are less certain often maintain anxious, fixed eye contact instead, afraid of what looking away might cost them. The fifth, they explore and come back. By 8 to 10 months, a baby who feels safe with you will crawl away from you towards something interesting, investigate it, and return. John Bowlby called the caregiver the secure base, and this pattern is the behavioral proof of it. They go out because you make going out feel possible. The sixth signal happens in the face. By 3 months, securely attached babies begin producing what researchers call anticipatory relaxation, a visible softening of their expression when their primary caregiver comes into view, before any interaction has begun. The brow smooths, the jaw loosens. Their body has recognized you before they have had time to do anything about it. The seventh, they fall asleep on you. Easily, without fight, completely. Sleep is the state of maximum vulnerability for any organism. The infant brain will not allow full sleep onset unless the threat detection system has been satisfied. When your baby falls asleep pressed against you, they have assessed the situation and concluded that you are safe enough to be unconscious near. That particular surrender, the trusting, heavy, total sleep of a baby on their person, is as precise a measure of felt safety as anything a research lab has produced. Go back to the moment we started with. You are holding your baby. They have been fussing, resisting, arching away from you, and then something shifts and they go heavy against your chest. Before this video, you called that settling. You called it a parenting win, a lucky break, something you did that worked even though you were not entirely sure what it was. Now you know what it is. Their amygdala quieted, their cortisol dropped, their muscle tone released because every system in their body that scans for danger ran its assessment and came back with the same answer, this person. This particular combination of heartbeat and smell and warmth and voice. This is the one. And the moment their body registered that answer, it stopped bracing. You did not accidentally stumble into a good moment. You built this every time you came when they called, every time you held them through the fussing instead of putting them down out of exhaustion, every feed at 3 a.m., every rocking session that felt like it would never end, every moment you showed up when you were depleted and uncertain and running on nothing. All of it accumulated into this, a nervous system that knows your name, a body that goes soft at the sound of you. That is not a small thing. That is the whole thing. What the research shows about babies who develop this felt sense of safety with their caregiver is worth sitting with, because the stakes are higher than most parents realize and more achievable than most parents fear. Mary Ainsworth's Strange Situation Studies, some of the most replicated work in developmental psychology, found that babies assessed as securely attached at 12 months showed measurably different developmental trajectories across childhood and into adulthood. They developed stronger language at 18 months. They showed greater emotional regulation at age 3. Their teachers at age 6 rated them as more socially competent than their peers. As teenagers, they reported higher relationship satisfaction and lower rates of anxiety. As adults, they were more likely to form stable, trusting bonds with partners and to raise their own children with the same quality of availability that shaped them. None of this happened because their parents were perfect. It happened because their parents were consistent. Because coming was what usually happened. Because safety was the baseline, not the exception. Minnesota psychologist Alan Srofe, who followed the same group of children from birth into adulthood for over 40 years in the Minnesota Longitudinal Study of Risk and Adaptation, found something that stops most people when they hear it. The quality of early attachment, measured in the first year of life, predicted outcomes in adolescence and adulthood more reliably than almost any other variable he measured, including IQ, socioeconomic status, and later parenting experiences. The first year, the year when your baby cannot speak, cannot tell you what they need, cannot give you any feedback except through the behaviors this video has been describing. The baby going soft in your arms is not a random moment in an ordinary afternoon. It is your baby's body reporting on something you have been building since the day they arrived. There is something else worth saying, and it is for the parent who is watching this and thinking about all the times they did not come, the times they were too tired, too stretched, too overwhelmed to show up the way they wanted to. Edtronic's research on attunement found that even the most present, available parents are in sync with their baby only about 30% of the time. The other 70% involves misreadings, missed signals, moments of disconnection and repair. What matters in that other 70% is not the missing, it is the returning, the trying again. The relationship is not built in the perfect moments, it is built in the recovery from the imperfect ones. You do not have to be the parent who never gets it wrong. You have to be the parent who keeps showing up after getting it wrong. That is what your baby's nervous system is learning to trust, not your flawlessness, your reliability. And here is what that kind of parenting gives you, not just your baby. Parents who learn to read their infant's safety signals, who stop interpreting a calm baby as nothing happening and start seeing it as something they helped create, report something that researchers studying parental self-efficacy have documented consistently: a shift in confidence that cannot be produced by reading any book or following any advice. It comes from understanding, from knowing what you are looking at, from recognizing that what you are doing in the ordinary, unremarkable moments of daily life with your baby is building something that will outlast infancy by decades. Watch for these 7 behaviors today. The limp body in your arms, the soft sounds your baby makes when you are nearby but not directly engaging, the full-release cry that gets louder before it gets quieter, the glance away during play, relaxed and unhurried because they know you will still be there when they look back, the crawl away from you toward something interesting and then the crawl back, the face that softens when you walk through the door, the sleep that comes without a fight, heavy and complete. You will see at least one of them before the day is over. When you do, you will know what it means. Your baby's body is sending you a message that predates every spoken word they will ever say. You are safe. You are mine. You are the reason I can rest. That message is there in the moments that pass without ceremony, without photographs, without any marker that something important just happened. The weight of your baby going soft against your chest at the end of a long afternoon is one of those moments. You know now what it is. Go find it. Thank you so much for being here until the very end. It means everything. If this video changed how you see your baby even a little, please share it with another parent who needs to hear it. Check out the videos on your screen now. I think you'll love them. And subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next one.